Okay, we're on.
By the way, I don't know if you're going to have a picture of that plate that Grandpa gave me that for my marriage, one of the things.
Mm-hmm. I think we talked about that the last time we were here. What we want to do is we're going to take some photos from the photo album this time, today. Give me ours. And later on we'll be able to zoom in on them. But I want to make sure that we know each one. Now we have this photo right here.
Right.
The back of it, it's marked 541269. And tell us a little bit about that photo.
All right. There in the back, you see myself and Judy.
Mm-hmm.
In the front, you see, by the way, this was taken, I believe, in New York.
In New York? Where in New York?
Somewhere in New York where Jaime Schwartz, and this is my father's brother, Moshe.
Okay, hold on. Do you know what event it was?
No, I don't.
Was it a bar mitzvah? Was it a wedding?
They all, might have been a wedding.
It might have been a wedding, okay.
Yeah.
Now why don't we try, first of all, what we're going to do, let me have this for a second. This is my Max and Judith. I want to go around the table like this. So, why don't we just, before we talk about any of these people, let's start. This is Rose
Right.
Schwartz Goldberg.
Right.
Okay, and that's
No, Rose Schwartz Goldberg. This is my father.
Right.
This is my father's brother's wife, and this is her husband Noach.
Now that's Grandpa Jaime Ploner's
Jaime
brother,
Schwartz.
Jaime Schwartz.
Brother.
What's his name?
Noach.
Noach. And his last name is Schwartz, right?
Right, right.
And they came over
He brought him over from Russia after he got here.
after he got here.
Yeah, both.
Where did he live? In Philadelphia also?
Yeah, he lived in Philly.
What business was he in?
He was a laborer. He was not in business.
He was not in business? Okay.
Eh.
And okay, who's
The one beside the big man here, very strong man.
standing up at the back of the table?
Right, he was a carpenter.
Who is he? How's he related?
He's a brother.
So he was.
He's the second
had
brother.
Three brothers.
Two brothers
I'm
who
sorry,
he
yes.
brought over.
And he brought over.
This is Moshe. He worked very hard.
Okay.
And during the Depression, he lost all his money in the bank. The bank failed.
So these were your uncles.
Right.
And where did he live?
He lived in Philly.
Also, okay.
And this is his wife, Sarah.
Sarah, okay. That's
And let me go over here. This is little Evie.
standing up in the back
Is Evie.
is Evie, which was their child?
No, this was Noach's child.
Okay.
Now, over here is Moshe's wife, Sarah.
Okay, sitting down next to
Right.
Okay.
This is Jaime Schwartz
Okay.
and his wife.
Okay.
Jaime, by the way, was deaf.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, one thing here, let's make sure we got this straight. This was Jaime Schwartz here, okay, and that's his wife. What was his wife's name?
Rose.
Rose. And how is Jaime related?
Well, these are all cousins of my father.
They're cousins of your
Yeah,
father.
other than the two brothers.
Okay. How did the cousins get here? He didn't bring
I
cousins
don't know.
over.
He didn't bring them over.
Okay.
I don't know who this man is and his wife.
Okay, the people seated on the end here, we don't know who these people are. Okay.
Right, they're not
Jaime
rich.
Schwartz.
They're not. Jaime Schwartz is Moshe's
Son?
son.
Okay. So this is Moshe, and this is his son right here.
Jaime
and
Schwartz.
his wife. That's Jaime Schwartz. Okay.
And is this getting it where he was?
Well, what I'm going to do
He
later
was deaf.
on, I'm going to zoom in, and he was deaf. That's
Right.
very interesting. I didn't know that there was any deafness in our family.
Right.
Okay, I'm very interested.
He was able to talk though, but he didn't talk sign language.
Okay. Now, Jaime brought his other two brothers over.
Right. He
Okay.
came here first in about 1913.
Okay. And now tell me about his name again?
Neuer.
Neuer. Okay, this is Neuer. And tell
He-
me, Neuer, tell me a little bit about, he lived in Philadelphia
He
now.
lived in Philadelphia, and he was just a worker. Where he worked, I don't know, but he didn't make a real big living, but he was a worker.
Now, he had a son, Jaime.
No, this
Oh,
one.
okay. All right, do you know if he had any sons?
Neuer had Evie
Evie
and
Pat.
another son. I forget his name now, but he worked for Food Fair. He was an accountant,
Uh-huh.
but he was born with diabetes,
Oh, okay.
and he died at the age in the early when he was 30 or 35, something like that.
Okay. Do you have any idea of the date that this picture was taken, maybe?
No, unless it's in the back here.
Could you give me a decade? Is 20s, 30s? We hear you must be what, in your 20s there, maybe?
No. I didn't get married till I was over 30,
Over 30.
so I could have been 35.
This was the 40s, maybe, or the 50s, right?
50 and 30 is 80. It's more, isn't it? 35.
Well,
Yeah.
The way that Grandpop looks here could have been it could have been the late 50s or the early 60s. There, that picture, right?
Right.
Can you say?
Let's see. I was 35, and now I'm 80. So you have to subtract that, and that'll give you the
The 50s.
50s.
Fine. Now let's talk about. Is there anything else that you can tell me about Neuer?
Neuer had a job, and he didn't do very well. And he had a sickly wife, and he died at an early age, maybe in his early 50s.
Well, he looks.
That's Neuer.
He doesn't look like he's too.
He don't look too good here either, the way he looks there.
Okay, and tell me more about him.
Well, he was just.
We're talking about now. We're talking about.
Well, let me talk about
Neuer?
Neuer again. He didn't have a real good job. He just about made a living, and I don't know how they got along together, but his wife was sickly. She was young,
Evie.
and when her father died and left the mother wasn't able to take good care of her, and she wound up like she had to go through therapy, and she didn't look like she was going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
But her story is a real nice story to tell.
Tell.
She had two children. She finally got a job and married and made a life for herself. Her son married a few years ago very well, and her daughter now is going to get married. We saw it in a Jewish Exponent, and her daughter also graduated in some college with a high degree.
Do you know what?
So she's really not the word I'm looking for isn't hero, but it's a woman that had nothing that made a life for herself.
Okay, and Evie, what's Evie's last name now?
Rosenholt.
Right. Okay, she was at my wedding, wasn't she? Or yeah.
Yeah, her husband is like a real strict Jewish guy.
They were kosher.
He wanted to leave and go to Israel and leave her, but he changed his mind.
I see. Okay. Any other stories now? Did they come from? They came from the same village. I remember the story of Grandpa coming over with the tiger and everything. Did they?
Well, that was a story that when he was playing with his sister in Russia, I was very close to my father. He used to tell me stories, and this.
Well, I heard this story. We have it on another.
Well,
video
I
too.
thought you wanted to get
Did he?
on.
When he got out, did he get out right before World War I, Jaime? Grandpa?
Yeah.
Okay, now what about the other two brothers? Did they fight in World War I?
No.
Did they get out? They got out also before World War I, or they didn't fight
They were still in Russia, I think, and he brought them over afterwards.
after the war? So you don't.
Or after the war, I don't know exactly the time.
Okay.
And Grandpop had an uncle and aunt in Philly.
Uh-huh.
They called her the Mima, that's an aunt. And they were fairly well off. And they, at that time, there wasn't a lot of automobiles, so they were in a stable business where they had horses and things like that and rent them out. And I have pictures of him with my father, and my father lived with them for a while, and he had about 4 sons. So that's where my father got started. And my father worked in a place called Belber Suitcases. It was a big place where they made real nice suitcases.
Grandpop started working there?
Yeah, he was working in Philly, and they had a big strike. It lasted a long time, and he had to leave, and he went scrapping with my uncle Jaime Miller.
Okay. Let's talk about Grandpop's other brother.
This one,
Yeah.
this is Moshe. He's like, as you could see him there, he's like, looks far away there, don't he?
Uh-huh.
But he was a very strong man and did a lot of hard carpentry work, lifting heavy things. And he saved some money, and his children were in New York. This Jaime was his son, and I don't remember if he had any other children. And during the war, he had some money that he saved and during the Depression. And there was a bank at 60th and Market called the Corn Exchange, and it went bankrupt, and he lost every penny. But he survived, and he lived in Philly.
He lived in Philly.
Yeah. I don't know after that whatever happened to him. He was already older.
I see. And you're not quite sure whether he had any other children besides Jaime?
No.
Do you know if Jaime's still alive today?
No.
Jaime's passed away.
No, he passed away a couple years ago.
I see.
This is his wife.
Right. And we don't know if they had any children or anything like that?
No, I don't know anything.
Okay.
We weren't, that's a different part of the family, even though they call us once in a while, but we weren't that close with them, like you with the Strausses, right?
Yes. Okay.
And Mother too with the Strausses. They were friendly, but not real close.
I see. Okay. All right. I think we've covered that picture. This picture right here is Jaime and
Rose.
Rose Schwartz.
This is a very nice picture, and it looks to me like my father's up in age already. I don't know whether he lost his eye at that time. He might have, because it looks like Mother's holding his arm, and she took care of him, and she was quite a woman. She could do anything. She cooked, she sewed, she knew how to relax, and we all thought my father would pass away first, but she got a bad case of diabetes. She used when they brought her a box of Whitman's chocolate, she ate one, and after that, the whole box was gone.
Do you know
and she
where this
got diabetes.
was taken?
This was taken on Osage Avenue in West Philly.
And that was the house?
You went there once, didn't you? No, I don't think so.
Why, is this the house, their house?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure I was there many times.
I don't know if you were...
Osage Avenue?
Yeah.
Did they move someplace else after Osage
No,
Avenue?
no.
Yeah, I'm sure I was there. I remember eating
Spaghetti, yeah.
over there. Oh, I
Yeah.
was over there many times.
Yeah.
I remember.
Well, this is a beautiful picture of them,
Okay.
and they got along very well. But my mother got sick in about 64, and she went to the University of Pennsylvania hospital, and she had an infection in her leg, and it started to turn black. They were getting ready to cut it off. And I was there. They had her on an oscillating bed trying to get the blood circulating again. And then she had a heart attack during the night, and she didn't make it.
Okay. That was 1964. Now, we have this picture here.
No, that wasn't
65
1960.
maybe?
No, I don't know the date. She was 64 when she died.
Oh, I see. Okay. It's an interesting. You look very fat there, Dad. Very heavy.
Well, I was at the one time I was never blown up. Well, although you see the picture of me in on a table there when I was in Acapulco, I was about close to 200 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
But as a young man, I was always maybe 150, 160. And
now
this picture is with my father, and after my mother, the night before my mother passed away, she asked me if I would please take care of Pop and let him come and stay with me. And I said I would, and that's when we had moved from the Oxford Circle to Cheltenham, or Wyncote it's called, and we had a nice home there.
1469 Worcester Drive, right? That's pretty much
Yeah,
where I grew up.
that's right.
And Grandpa.
And you knew him well.
You took a garage. You took a garage and made it into a little place for him
I
to
made
stay.
place well for him to stay, and there was a bathroom there.
I remember.
And he was very good, and that's the story with him.
This looks like a picture of me, or Barbara. I guess it was me when I was an infant.
Yes, that's a picture of you on Levick Street, where you were born.
What was you remember the address of Levick Street by any chance? I know it was 1469 Worcester Drive. Okay.
Yeah, that
Tell
I
me about
remember.
the car that I'm in there.
The what?
The car.
The car?
Is that your car?
I don't know which one this was, but however, this might have been my father's car. Was a Buick, which he gave me, and after I bought my first car was a 1954 Buick Dynaflow, which it doesn't shift gears, you know, and it was a Tisham red with a white top, and I used to wipe it in. Then the people, my friends used to say, "Oh, yeah, we saw you last night. You were sleeping in a car. You just loved the car."
We know who this is. This is the Watermans.
Yeah,
This is Morris and what was her name? Morris and not Sylvia. Morris's wife.
yeah. Morris and his wife and Judy.
They live
And
behind us.
yeah, behind us at
Wyncote.
right at 1469 Wyncote. And
The Watermans.
he was in an allied business where we were in the pipe business, and he made pipe fittings,
Right.
welded fittings.
Right. And he was also very handy. He had,
He had a little machine shop in his basement.
built
Very handy.
built all sorts of model trains.
Yeah.
He really was a very, very handy guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's gone, you know.
I know. This picture right here says 1949 on the back of it. I see mother.
Oh, this is our neighbor.
Mother right here. Why don't you start? You start on this side of the table and go around this way. Who's that woman on the left there?
Well, these are our neighbors on Levick Street.
I see.
And this is in the. We were all young and all starting out, and as you'd walk up the street on Levick Street, all the neighbors were very friendly.
Uh-huh.
And there were different, times not like this. The times like now, you may know your neighbor across the street or next door, but other than that, it's different times.
Right.
Now, I can't remember these names.
Is one of them Goldberg or something?
Yeah, the one that lived next door to us was I. Goldberg in the not the big one, but they were like nephews of the big I. Goldberg that's around.
Goldberg is the
They were
Army Navy surplus store.
tents and Navy, yeah, and they lived there. His name was Harry Goldberg. This woman's husband was in the paper. By the way, this woman is Rose Eichhoff. You should know her.
Okay.
And she's a cousin to Judy.
Okay, hold on a second. Let's make sure we get this straight. This woman right here who's seated on this side of the table is Rose Eichhoff, and she's a friend of my mother's.
Cousin.
Oh, cousin.
Yeah,
and she's still friendly. Is she alive?
she's alive.
She's alive, and
Well, she don't see her much now. They're up in age now. And all the
all I
others,
can say is nice hat, Rose.
a nice what?
Hat.
Oh,
Her hat
yeah.
looks like
And this
put a mop on her head.
this was Harry Goldberg's wife.
Sitting next to her,
Yeah.
right to her right, is
Right.
Harry Goldberg's wife.
Yeah, this is Judy.
And the other
and
women?
all friends
Okay.
on the block.
Okay.
And it was in 1949. It tells you here, Mike.
Right. 1949. Wait.
Oh, by the way, 1949. Oh, okay.
Let's see what other pictures I can find here. Is that Barbara?
That's Barbara.
Boy. I don't remember her ever looking like that. Boy, she is young there. Let me just...
Wait a minute. Let's see
hold
this.
on one second, Dad. Let me just put it up. That's a
Right.
very interesting picture of Barbara.
Right. This is Barbara. I can't remember where it was taken. It looks like she could have been 12, 13 years old, Mike.
Yeah, I would say...
Yeah, she looks happy there. She has a smile. She's wearing something around her neck. I can't tell what it is, some kind of a pin, some kind of a thing around her neck. But she looks good there.
I'd say this is Leonard and Phyllis,
Yeah, this is-
and you guys at...
Yeah.
That looks
This
like
is at
Mark's
the-
wedding. I would say that's Mark's wedding. Mother's already had her stroke there, and that I would say that was Mark's wedding. Maybe not.
It might be just that one of the Kutzholm's balls that they had every year.
No.
Or it might have been Mark's
That's
wedding.
very recent.
Yeah, Mark's
This
wedding.
is recent.
And there's Phyllis and Uncle Lenny
Leonard Ploner and Phyllis.
at the Hotel DuPont.
Here's a very interesting picture right here. It says 22243 on the back of it, and that's you in the Army?
Yeah, this is myself and a friend of mine on the Fiji Islands, which was 500 miles from Guadalcanal. We were the supply island for the Marines who were fighting the Japs in Guadalcanal.
I see.
And
remember
the
the name
date
of your
is
friend there?
1943. What's that?
You remember the name of the friend?
No, I don't remember
How
his
about
name.
This is some more of these.
Yeah, this is another one here. I don't know if you can catch that. Can you catch that
Yeah,
on
we'll
there?
zoom it in, and this is
Yeah.
discharge, honorable discharge from the
This
Army.
this fella here was the sergeant of the detachment, and he was a Jewish boy, and his name was Sam Chrisman. Very nice, tall, strong fellow.
This picture right here looks like a wedding picture from Ruth and Leon, I would say.
Oh yeah,
It's a
yeah.
postcard on
And
the back there.
here's my beautiful sister, and she's at her thinnest in her life before she got married. She had a beautiful face. She sent me a picture by the way, she wrote me while I was in the service. And they never knew where I was, but she sent me a letter every day that I was in the Army. And she sent me her picture, and all my friends looked at her face and said that she was beautiful. And she's still a beautiful girl. And here she is with Leon, her husband, a very nice man. Had a nice long marriage. They're still living, and may God bless them.
And it looks like this picture right here is Grandpop and Grandma Schwartz. And it looks like, I would say, Sylvia and maybe Joel and
Yeah,
Arlene.
yeah, right. You're right.
And here's
And did you put that
I'll
up?
put that up there. And that one
Okay.
says 689 on the back of it. And here's a picture of young Leonard Ploner. He looks like something out of the motorcycle.
Oh, this is Leonard. He could be 20, and he came to visit. We used to go. We're doing what you do, Mike. You go with your wife to visit her family, which is very good. You're friendly with the family. Well, we did it where 1 week we would go visit her family, and the next week her family would come visit us. And this is Leonard, handsome, with his handsome brother-in-law, Max, and It looks like Barbara down here. Look.
Oh yeah, how about that?
And that's Leonard's first convertible Chevrolet that he bought. Very nice picture. We were very friendly.
Now, this picture right here, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell me, it says OK14 on the back of it.
Oh. This is Aaron standing up, and the fella sitting, kneeling down. His name is Mark, his last name, Marks. And that's in the back of our house in West Philly, where we used to play a little ball and things like that. And they're just, we took their picture, maybe had a little football game afterwards.
Can you tell me these kind of gray and yellowish pictures?
Oh, as Michael knows, we were very friendly with the Richmond brothers.
Mm-hmm. The Richmonds have a scrapyard.
Yeah, they had when I first met them, they were just struggling in the late 30s. Mm-hmm. And they were working very hard, and their scrapyard was in back of their house. But as they kept in business, they became one of the biggest scrap dealers in the East. Now, this is Paul Richmond, and we're at the in Atlantic City at one of the big hotels. I just can't remember the name. And he had a brother, Bunny, who befriended me, liked me, and we became more friendly, liked me because I was a hard worker and he was a hard worker.
I see that this picture right here, they're all the same thing here, Dad.
Yeah, I can't remember the name. It's now a casino, that hotel.
Okay, this is picture, says on the back, February 1972. I say that must be Mr.
This is a picture when I finally came to Wilmington and I joined the Brandywine Country Club. The fella that's with me had been a hero in the Second World War. However, he was shot and lost a leg and shot in the other leg, and partially, well, he was still able to get about with a cane. And here he is playing golf, and he was able to shoot in the high 70s, and very friendly, and very outgoing, and always went to different places to help other people in the same situation, losing a leg or an arm or something like that.
The next picture here looks like it's Barbara and Stanley's wedding in 1968 at your friend's.
Yeah. No, this is that's true. This is a very nice picture.
Let's real quick go over this.
All right.
We'll start in the front left. This is the very front is Mr. Dieter.
This is Lou Dieter.
Lou Dieter and his wife.
Right.
Thelma.
Thelma.
Singer?
This is Mott Singer.
Mott Singer and his wife.
Who was...
Well, we'll talk about them. Let's just go real quick. Mott Singer and his wife, and then we have
Herb
Mr. Coons
and his wife.
And the Koffler, Dan Koffler, and his wife.
Lita.
Okay, now we can talk about them.
Now, this was a wedding, a small wedding that we made for Barbara. Mm-hmm. Well, it was a very nice wedding. It wasn't that small, but it wasn't a tremendously large wedding. And we had it in the Hotel DuPont, and these are some of our close friends. And Barbara and Stanley were married there.
And tell me about the friend,
Wait a minute.
Mr.
It took place August the 24th, 1965.
Mr. Dieter owned Bud Metal.
Yeah, Mr. Dieter, we became friendly with. He was in the Allied line in the steel business, and we became very close friends. Nice. Mott Singer was a partner in that building of trailers that haul things.
Strict trailers?
Wasn't Strict Trailer, no. No, I can't think of the name, but it was a popular trailer.
Okay.
And Herb Coons was he ran a big department store.
Wilmington Dry Goods.
Wilmington
Famous
Dry Goods.
Wilmington Dry Goods. He
Very
was
big.
The owner or the general manager?
He had general manager
Uh-huh.
and his wife.
Uh-huh.
And Stanley and what was his
Dan
name?
and Lita.
Dan was an architect.
Still is, I think.
Huh?
Still is, I think.
Yeah. And they came out of New York.
Do you know who the people in this little picture here? It's really narrow here. I know Mother's here. Do you know who that other woman with?
Yeah. This is Mother, and I'll go back to this is Flossie Steinberg.
Flossie Steinberg.
She was a sister. Her sister was married to Eddie Meinster, whose parents owned the Paramount Clothing on South Street. Very big place, very nice place.
You know, I don't know why I didn't do this before, but I'm going to write on the back of each of these pictures who they are.
Yeah.
So, how about this?
Flossie Steinberg.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
L-O-S-S.
I don't think you've ever seen. Maybe you saw this. This is my aunt and her, and Frances, my cousin.
They were in this picture here.
No, they're different.
Different aunts.
Different family.
Oh, this is the Goldberg side. Then you're saying this is Grandmom Ploner or Grandmom Schwartz's family, the Goldberg side?
My father's side.
This is your father's side, right?
Yeah, because that's his brother's.
This is from your mother's side.
This is my mother's side.
So what is her name?
Did you ever see Aunt Annie?
I don't know. I don't think
She
so.
was married to Jaime Miller, who was a tough man.
Okay.
And this is her daughter, one of her daughters. And they lived in Washington towards the end. And she was a very heavy woman, but very made jokes and things like that. Oh, it tells you in the back here. Dear Max, thought you might enjoy seeing this. March the 14th, 1942, I was in the service, so they sent this to me in the service.
How about that? Look at this for a second.
Yeah.
Now tell me about these people again. Give it to me. What's her name? The one on the left.
That's Aunt Annie,
Okay,
mother's
hold on.
sister,
Left.
grandmom's sister,
Aunt.
Annie
A.
Miller.
N-I-E Miller. Married to
Jaime,
Jaime Miller.
right.
Miller. And this is on the Goldberg side, right?
Right.
And next to her.
Is her daughter Frances.
All right. And do we know what her last name is after she got married?
No, I don't know.
Okay. And she's
She's gone. They're both gone.
and she is
They lived in
Annie's
Washington.
daughter.
Right. She also had another daughter and son,
Do we know their name?
Max Miller,
Okay.
who was in the machinery business.
Okay,
and
so this is we're talking about Ann Miller's
Children.
and Jaime Miller's children.
Right.
Other children of Jaime and Annie, and what Max Miller.
Max Miller. Now, if
And
you
who are
want
the other
to,
ones?
the other one was Mary Miller. I have two little stories to tell fast.
Okay, that was all of them. There was Max Miller and Mary Miller. I know there was some other Millers too. These are the same Millers that were at my wedding. Okay, so there's Max Miller, and then there's.
Mary, well, she died before.
Okay. All right, stories.
The story with Mary Miller, we were born about the same time, and as you know, my Aunt Annie must have weighed close to 250, 300 pounds, and when Aunt Annie would have to go out. We were just babies. Then my mother would take care of Mary, and she would feed her, breastfeed her. But when my mother had to go out, and Aunt Annie would have to breastfeed me, oh, did I get a meal? All right, that's one thing. Now, Max Miller, which brings you up to something, was the owner of Ace Machinery.
Right.
Whom, when he died, turned part of his business over to the woman that bought our farm.
Right, Karen, whatever her name is, Karen something.
So, all right,
This
let's
picture
talk
here,
about
just
this here. The very early picture of Max, maybe I would say I was maybe 16, maybe 15. And as you could see right away, I love sports. I just love them to this day. Sports and equipment. And I had to become a businessman, but I still love equipment and things like that, and I love sports. Now this here was in camp. They sent me to a camp, and that's where I was. And I went there for a few years and enjoyed it.
Okay. Where was the camp? Do you know?
Huh?
Do you know where the camp was? It in Philadelphia?
No, it was outside of Philly. I could think of the name, but
Was it an overnight camp? Yeah.
Overnight camp, yeah.
Okay. Girls of the Chorus. I think it says here. You know who these two girls are?
This picture is of, if you look at Judy's face, you see it's round because she's after she's about 14 or 15, but she matured at an early age. She was already buxom and everything at the age of 13. A mother couldn't believe it. She was so filled out, and all the fellows used to run after her. And this is a friend of hers. And
you know who her friend is?
No, she had a friend there. Wait, Girls of the Court, 1944. So it's a couple years before we married.
Okay. How about this picture? Looks like.
By the way, all right, okay. This is Judy with her cousin that lived near us on Levick Street.
Do you know her name?
Eikov, E-I-K-O-V. Mo and Rose Eikov.
E-I-K-O-V-E.
Oh, not E.
Oh, just V.
V.
E-I-K-O-V.
Mo and Rose.
Mo.
That's on Judy's mother's side.
On Ploners?
Yeah.
On Rose?
I think it was on Judy's mother's side. When I don't know. No, that's wrong. I think it's on her father's side. I'm not sure.
On our side. Yeah, we should be glad we're right.
Oh, I just picked my nose. Is that bad?
There's a picture here. This looks like me or Barbara with a maid there. You remember who that was? Do we have a maid?
Yes. Yeah, we had a maid.
Do you remember her?
This would be.
Is that the woman that said he's a wee little boy?
No. This woman. That is Barbara.
That's Barbara.
And she was a maid, and we lived on Levick Street then. 1954. When were you born?
1954.
Huh?
You remember the maid's name? No.
Well, maybe it was you, and we had someone that took care of you too, and she was not Ireland, but one of the a Scottish woman. And she already knew Barbara, and Barbara she used to, when we tried to tell her something, she had a temper, so she'd holler and get her own way. So when this Scottish woman came, she saw Barbara with her temper, and then she took care of you. And one day she came down to us. She said, you think your barber has a temper? You should see this little boy.
All right, this one right here. This is Grandpa Ploner.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Mom.
Oh, this is
You know when it is.
this is President Kennedy's boat here. See it, Mike?
That was President
Yeah,
Kennedy's boat?
yeah.
You're kidding. How about that? Where was it? Where is
In
it?
Acapulco, Mexico.
How do you spell Acapulco?
Mexico.
How do you spell Mexico?
We were there with.
You know what? Approximately 1960s. Had to be the 1960s, right? Grandpa was already pretty old there. Had to be the 1960s. And that was actually President Kennedy.
We took a
was
boat.
Was he there when you were there?
What? No. He wasn't on the boat at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was his boat. And this here is a picture of, we took a boat ride, and that's her father in back of there. He's got a gun against the pirate's head. You see it there? He's kidding around.
Yeah.
And a nice picture. Judy looks nice there, too.
Here's
Now, there's another one. Oh, you hit it right on the head, Michael.
No, I just wrote that there, Dad.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you hit it.
Okay. This picture is interesting. This is the real 70s here. If you look at me, I got my bow tie, I got my high-heeled shoes on there, and a real wide lapel, and nice long hair.
Yeah, this is a picture. I believe it's a DuPont hotel.
I don't think it was Barbara's wedding because that
No,
had to be...
this here was every year they had a ball from the Kutz home, an old age home, which Judy had been president of the Women's Auxiliary, and she ran a lot of the balls. This is Stanley on the left, doesn't look bad. There's Barbara next to him, doesn't look bad. There's Max standing next to Barbara with Judy holding his head. They don't look too bad. And by God, there's Michael with a bow tie. He looks like $1 million. And look at his hair. He's got a full head of hair.
Got it. This is, what's her name? Sigmund, right?
Yeah.
That's,
This is one of Barbara's, let me repeat myself. This is one of Judy's special girlfriends to this day who calls her all the time. They were always very close, and she lives in Florida, Boca Raton now. Her husband had passed away, and she remarried to a very nice man, and they were in last year and took us to the DuPont Hotel for a lunch, and they're always in touch.
I see.
This by the way, is in Florida. Carol Sigmund, it was. I don't know what it is now.
Carol.
I forget her last name now.
I-G-M-A-N. Okay. Now we're jumping around in time here a little bit. We've got this picture right here, which says K927571. And you have any idea what picture that is?
This is also another picture of the ICOF.
Oh, this is ICOF.
Yeah.
E-I-K-O-V. What was her name again? We lost it already. Okay, I lost it too, so don't feel bad. I'm much younger than you. 1951, this picture says on it. You know who that is?
This is another of Judy's girlfriends who she still sees. It's Beatty Feldman, right.
Beatty Feldman?
Yeah, Beatty Feldman
Let me write this
on the
down.
beach in Atlantic
How do you
City.
spell Beatty?
B-E-T-T-Y.
B-E-T-T-Y. That's Betty.
Beatty, a little different.
Beatty Feldman.
Right.
And how do we know Beatty Feldman? She lived?
Beatty Feldman, when we lived in Philly, we had a group, like a lot of other people do, friendly group, that we went out every weekend, and she was part of the group. And
Which house in Philly? Was it?
What?
Was it when you lived in Levick Street or when you lived in Wyncote?
Well, both when we lived on Levick Street and
Okay.
Wyncote.
Mm-hmm.
And we went out with Eddie Kane, who was more in the mortgage business, and Eddie Meinster, whose parents were in the clothing business, Paramount Clothing, and Beatty Feldman's husband was in the liquor business at a bar, and a fellow by the name of Glassman, who, by the way, was in the glass business on Broad Street.
Yeah.
So we had a pretty good crew, and we used to go out every week and have a good time.
Okay, let's see. These two pictures, these look like publicity photos. This one and this
Oh.
one.
Now this is Max Schwartz.
That's you.
This first one that I'm showing you here, this is in the Depression days, where we never really felt the Depression real bad because my father was in business with my uncle, and we had a nice house in West Philly, although we had lived in South Philly. Now, the reason I took this picture is that I worked for a photographer, and he sent me out.
You worked for a photographer?
Yeah,
I never
and
knew
he
that.
sent me out, and I used to sell 3 photos for $5, like this here.
No kidding.
Now, I wasn't a bad-looking guy there, was I, Mike?
You worked for a photographer?
Yeah, worked photographer.
What did you sold the photograph?
Yeah, and
When was this?
that was in the evenings. That was in the evenings. That's on 60th Street, and that's in West Philly.
What were you doing at that time during the day? Were you working at the...
I might have been more. I think that I was maybe going to school. I'm not sure now.
High school, you mean?
Or maybe working at the American Pipe. I'm not sure.
Okay.
However, I also on Saturday afternoons I worked at the University of Penn. When they played football. I sold programs.
I didn't know that either.
And
See that? I hear the
yes,
same story.
every Saturday, and we would make some money off
What
of
about
that.
the other photograph?
And this one here is my close friend George Scherzer, who used to play the piano.
Write this down. Max and George. Search. Could you spell last name?
Scherzer, Scherzer. Father was in the poultry business. What would
Butcher?
you call? No, not a butcher, but
Food processor?
on Front Street, where they dressed the chickens and sold them to the not real. They were fairly big, but they like what would a abattoir be like? But this was a chicken place. The abattoir's meat would have big, sold a lot of cows and things. This is a big chicken.
Was he
Chicken,
like
a broker.
a broker?
Chicken broker.
Poultry broker. You know whatever happened to him? Do you ever run into him?
Well, George.
First of all, how did you get to be friendly with him? You want to go to school with him? Do you know?
I became friendly with him because I think we were thrown together because George played the piano, and he did some writing of music, and I was a singer.
Right.
In fact, before I met him, no, after I met him, we would go out to different parties and different affairs, and I would sing and he would play the piano.
Now there's a story you tell me the same stories over, and it's a story I never knew. You went with this guy, and you went out to parties.
Right.
And what kind of, like weddings and bar mitzvahs? And
No,
stuff like that?
different affairs. You know, we went.
You were paid for that?
No.
Oh, you weren't paid for that.
No, we just went out and people were invited, and they asked me to sing and he would play, and
And for a while.
we became very friendly, and I was very friendly with his family. They liked me because George was not a real strong guy. He was very nice, but they knew that I could take care of him. And we became very friendly with his family. He had a sister and his parents, and father had a pool table downstairs in the cellar. We played. Now we go on to the story. I get a job on a radio station,
WDAS.
WDAS, and he's going to play we're going to have a 15-minute program, and I will sing all the old-time songs in the 40s, like Bing Crosby's or the fella, those old songs. I have a 15-minute program. Now, George said to me before we went there, he says, Max Schwartz, that's not the name. He says, we got to change your name and make it so that people will like it. So he says, what can we name you? So he finally figured out and changed my name to Bob Walton. And I used to sing every Friday after work. I was working at the American Pipe then, that's the question. And people would send in penny postcards. Bob Walton, sing this number for me. Thousands of cards. I never saved any, but I used to get thousands of cards. Sing this, sing that. But because I wasn't out, I could have been a singer. I had a very nice voice, but I wasn't outgoing. I wasn't, maybe it's for the best because I wasn't outgoing, and but I enjoyed it. Judy knows all the songs. I don't know how she knew, or she's younger than I am, but we sing all the time.
If you just sing just a little bit, because I have nothing on tape, and my grandchildren are going to want to say, just sing a little bit of a song so we can hear what it sounds like. Pick a song, a Bing Crosby song or something.
Well, I would sing a song that I sing to my wife, who I've been living with for maybe close to 50 years now.
Okay.
Great woman. And I'll sing one song that she likes.
Go.
I don't know why I love you like I do. I don't know why, I just do. I don't know why you thrill me like you do. I don't know why, but you do. You never seem to want my romancing. The only time you hold me is when we're dancing. I don't know why I love you like I do. I don't know why, I just do.
Very good.
Did it sound all right? My voice isn't as good as it was.
You're 80 years old now. You're 80 years. By the way, I don't know if we mentioned this. This is Max's 80th birthday. Hard to believe. I hope
Yeah,
I like
that's
him when
right.
I'm 80. Tonight is his 80th birthday. This picture right here, we just go through the names here. I assume that this is your wedding.
Right.
And we have Leon,
In
Ruth.
Philadelphia, the wedding took
Philadelphia.
place.
Where was it? At the Franklin Hotel?
One of the hotels there.
Okay.
Does it say on the back?
Let's see. Yeah, Franklin Hotel, Ploner Schwartz wedding, October 7th, 1945. Now I know how long you've been married. I know exactly when your anniversary is. October 7th, 1995, you were married. That's pretty good.
What?
You're married for 50 years.
40 years.
40? 4 and 4, that's... 4 and 4 is 85. 95. 4 and 5 is 95. You were married 50 years.
When?
No.
No.
45. This is embarrassing. My math is off. 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95. 50 years.
Can't be.
40, 55.
This year would be 50?
65, 75, 85, 95. 50 years, October 7th, 1940. 50 years, it'd be October 7th, 1995. 50 years. I'm writing that down. Pam Sue want to know that. All right, where are we?
I don't want
Okay.
any big things or big deals. I just want to be with
All
my
right,
family.
So we have Leon and Ruthie. This is Ruth is Max's sister, and Jaime and Sylvia. Aaron. I don't know where Aaron is here. Grandmom, Rose. No, this is Rose Schwartz. My mother, my father. This looks like Rose Ploner. This looks like Rose Ploner's mother.
Yeah.
And sitting next to her is Grandpa Ploner. And on the end is little Lenny Ploner. And I don't know who's in between here. Do you have any idea who that is?
That's the rabbi.
That's the rabbi. Okay. Who invited him? All right. Anyway.
I don't want to listen to me, Mike.
Yeah.
When I'm married 50 years, I want my immediate family. That's who I want. We had all our fill of big things, and just something to be with my family.
This picture looks like you're in the mob here. I don't know what this
Oh
is.
yeah, this is the mafia here.
Looks like you're in the mob.
I don't know where this was, but we all don't look the greatest. Aaron looks like he's not a bad-looking guy, but he's dressed like he could be in the mafia, right?
Yeah. Now this is
All right.
this is Phyllis's, and this looks like Phyllis's family because the Zakovs and the Dunns here and so forth.
Yeah.
Now let's hold on one second.
Wait, let me look at it. Yeah.
Let's start over here. Do you know who that is?
Well, that's one of these are the Dunns.
Those two on the starting from the left.
Yeah, Dunns.
At this table with two Dunn brothers.
And he's related somehow. He's like Don Luis or something in the security business.
Is he a Dunn also?
No, he's related somehow in there.
And in the back row next to him?
This one is a Dunn related, and another Dunn son.
And then there's Uncle Lenny.
Uncle Lenny.
And then in the front row is
That's
Harvey
Zatko.
Zatko. Grandpop, you.
Yeah.
And you don't know who these people
This could be at the Latin Casino.
Let me see this for a second.
See what it says. Is that the Latin Casino?
Max Schwartz, 1955. Best of lunch, maybe?
What?
Best of lunch. Eddie Dunn. Something else.
Another Dunn.
Another Dunn.
Oh, Harris Zimmerman. That's
Harris Zimmerman. David Chesler. Arnold Chesler.
Right.
Harry Zatko and
Ploner.
Leonard Ploner. That must be Lenny Ploner.
Yeah, that's a nice picture. Is that what you like, those things? Did you?
What,
I'd love to hear how that sounded when I sang. I don't know.
Get to it.
You didn't know that.
Yeah, this entire, I knew you sang,
Right.
and I've heard you sing many times in my life, but now I have it captured on videotape. I see here, most of what's in here is your...
Wait, a couple I want you to take. This is after when I was in the Fijis, being in the engineers.
Stop for a second. During World War II, you served in the Fiji Islands as an engineer, is that correct?
Yeah, in the Army engineers. Sergeant.
You were sergeant.
Right.
And what you did most of the time was you operated a crane?
I operated a truck crane, which you see here.
Which unloaded dynamite?
Well, no, some dynamite, but all things that would. We were Supply Island to Guadalcanal, who you probably heard about, where the Marines fought the Japanese at the beginning of the war. We were 500 yards away.
And during this time, you were injured.
I was injured.
How were you injured?
We were testing some dynamite that came from Australia that fell into the water, and we wanted to see if it could be reused, and we were testing it, and we wrapped it around a piece of railroad iron, and we're 500 feet away, and they hollered fire in the hole. They dynamited the thing, and the next thing I looked, I was on top of the hill, I was on the ground, and this piece of steel flew 500 feet and hit me on my left ankle and broke it in 5 places. Had it not been soft ground, it would have sheared my foot off. Now, I was about 5 miles from camp, and they put me on a Jeep, and one of the soldiers, I put my leg over his leg. I never felt any pain. When I got to the hospital, I looked up at the doctor, and I said, "Am I going to lose my foot?" He says, I don't think you're going to lose your foot, but you're going to be in a hospital a long time." And he took care of me and put a cast on me, as you see here.
He put a cast on you.
You see the cast went all the way from my hip,
Right.
and turned my foot this way, so when the thing would heal, the ankle would come back in place. By the way, he was from John Hopkins, a very big doctor.
Was this in the Fiji
This is
Islands
Fiji.
here?
This is in the Fijis, yeah.
Okay, and then afterwards, what happened?
And then being after they operated and took it off,
After they took the cast
they
off,
put me in a hospital, and
how long
it wouldn't heal because it was so hot there. It wouldn't heal. So they kept me there for a while, and one of the doctors came in there. He said, "Send him back." He says he has to be in cooler weather, and it'll heal better. And that's how they sent me back to Memphis, Tennessee, where I stayed in and out of hospitals about 9 months.
And did you go to San Francisco too, weren't you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, San Francisco's a stop off, and then
Okay.
I was in San Francisco.
Okay.
And this here might be in San Francisco. I don't remember now, but this is the story. Now, did you show a picture of this?
Yeah, well, I'm going to show a close-up of it later.
This is very close to me because this is where we live. This was a very close buddy of mine.
Second page on the inside of the first page. The picture he's pointing to is this one.
Joe Sanasiero, a dark-looking fellow, Italian.
Yeah.
That was his name. And this is that fellow Chrisman that he took care of the
Right next to him.
detachment.
Okay.
And this is a group of other fellows around the barracks there.
Okay,
and this
hold
is my
on
buddy,
1 second. Let me have this for a second. What's this guy's name?
Joe Sanasiero.
Let's write it right down here. Joe.
Here it is.
Well, let's write his
All
last
right.
name. S-A-N-T.
Sanasiero. That's the way you say it.
Santiago. And what's this guy's
He's
name?
from New York.
And this guy right here?
I went to visit. I got out first because I was hurt. I went to visit his parents.
And this gentleman here?
This is Sam Chrisman.
Sam. And what was he?
He was he was in charge of the group.
What
We
do you
were a
say?
detachment.
Was he a lieutenant?
No, he was a first sergeant.
First sergeant. Okay, and Joe,
Sanasiero was a sergeant.
he was a sergeant too, and he was your friend?
Yeah, very close.
Okay.
Now,
And these were all your buddies?
There's a group. There's a fella in the back here, but we don't have. Here's Joe Sanasiero. He's tall. This was an Indian guy.
Mhm.
And these were some guys, some from Pittsburgh and different places. All right. Oh, it has the date, 1943. Now, this was a cousin of my father's.
Cousin Toby.
Yeah.
Do you know his last name?
That, Lou Hennis. You've heard that name,
So this
I
is
think.
Toby Hennis?
No, yeah, well, it's Lou Hennis and his wife and daughter.
Lou, H-E-N-N-I-S,
Related to my father somehow.
wife. And,
His father was...
and Toby was the daughter?
No, his wife here.
Oh, wife Toby
Right. They lived in South Philly.
and daughter Sharon.
Yeah. That time I worked for the American Pipe, and I was close to where they
And-
lived, so I used to visit them all
Okay,
the time.
who's
My father's side.
okay.
My
so this
father and Lou Hennis, they were like related cousins or something.
Okay.
This is just another one of my buddies.
Okay.
Now this is before we went overseas. It's in San Francisco.
And
Here's Skoda from Pittsburgh, that's him. There's Sam, that's first sergeant. This is me here, see me?
Mm-hmm.
And this is Sanasiero. And we just have our guns.
Is this
just taking
training?
No, we're on our way overseas.
Okay.
Wait a minute, oh, you missed a page here, didn't you?
I think so.
All right, this is nothing. Now this one here, I always like this because this portrays me as a sun worshiper and a worker. That's what I like to be. Here I am working at a cement warehouse.
And the Fiji girls.
These are Fiji girls here, yeah. They were very friendly.
Very friendly?
Well, I couldn't get maybe the officers got close to them, but we didn't. And not only that, if they would get like a sore on them, it wouldn't heal. It became like ugly. You know what I mean? But there were some on the island. They were mixed with New Zealanders, and they call them certain names. I think I have a picture, but here I am. Look how dark I am there. I just love this.
Paul Max working at cement warehouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about it. That's another. This is Steve, and here we are, with some time off on the island. Now you could look at this guy and look at me, and you could see we all like the sun, but this guy didn't stay in the sun.
It says Andy, Max, Craig,
Craig.
Joe.
His name is Craig. Here's me with a football.
Some of these pictures fell out of here.
Yeah, well, it's old.
They're around here somewhere.
Here's Joe near the water. This is Frisco before we went overseas.
Joe, Eddie,
This is a Jewish
Max,
fellow by the name of
Patty.
This is Blitzer, Jewish boy. This is Goldberg, and this is another fellow by the name of Goldberg. This is Skoda. This is Italian fellow.
Okay. All right. Who's Sally?
This is still in the Fontana building. We slept there before we went overseas. We didn't know, we thought we were going to Alaska because they gave us all heavy clothes, you know what I
They
mean?
gave you all heavy clothes?
Yeah, so
Now,
everybody
this is funny. Let me show you this picture right here, Dad. If you look at this picture right here very carefully, I can tell you right where this is. This is San Francisco, and it's right where Fisherman's Wharf, because that building I've been in before, that's still there.
Isn't that something?
That's San Francisco, right? It
Yeah,
says Max
yeah.
Fontana
Oh,
building.
yeah, yeah.
I've been in that building. There's a maritime museum in there.
Nice looking girl there, huh?
I don't know who that is. Max. You got her in twice there.
Now these are pictures around the barracks, but they're dark.
Yeah.
You can't tell. This is me unloading. These are prefabricated.
Bridges and stuff.
Yeah, and we put them together. Parts of New Zealand barges.
Mm-hmm.
So they would give it to us, and we would put them together and send them over to the island. And this is the crane I would unload them with. Now I don't know. Oh, this is Ray Harris, who I was very friendly with. His father was in a butcher, and this is back of George Scherzer's house. And he lived in a nice house on Christian Street. Oh, let's see some of my cousins here.
April 4th, 46. It says April 4th, Washington, D.C., number 745,
Yeah.
I think is on the back.
This is Francis Miller.
Starting from the left.
This is Jaime Miller.
Yeah.
Very tough man, hard on his wife, very hard on his children, very tough businessman. When I was about maybe 5 or 6 years old, I was playing with him, and I don't know, maybe I annoyed him or something, but he put a lit cigarette on my arm. Now, I was 6 years old, and I'm, 80, going to be 80? I remember it till the day. That was the most painful thing I ever had happen to me in my life. He put a cigarette right in my hand.
You were how old? 6 years old?
6 years old.
He was a child abuser.
Well, that's what, and he was mean to his children and tough on them. Now wait 1 minute. This is Mary Miller, the one that I was very close with.
Second one from the right.
Yeah, the second one from the right.
And who's next to her?
Oh, this is Irvin Miller. He's still
Irvin,
alive.
right.
He comes around. He calls us about Pike.
Right, I know
yeah.
Miller. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the one that's left. But Mary, we were very close because we were born at about the same time and everything. And she got heart trouble, and she fought it but she couldn't, and she died young.
And then there's Grandpop and Grandma.
Oh,
Do you know
yeah.
who's in the middle there?
Yeah,
In between the two of them? standing up?
This looks like,
One of their children?
no, this looks like it's either her husband or Francis's husband. It looks like her husband. Jody. Name was Julie, I guess. I don't know what you call him. And her daughter became a doctor. She came here, and
once again,
this Frances had a daughter.
far left.
She was here, and she had some kind of a disease. You met her. She came here. She knew when she was going to die, and she died afterwards.
Was
Very
she at
nice
my
guy.
wedding? Was she one of the ones at the wedding? No, that was.
I don't know, but she was in this house here.
Okay. And this is Jaime Miller.
Jaime Miller.
He's one of Grandpop's brothers.
No,
No.
he's
A Goldberg.
no, he's a Miller outside the family.
Cousin.
However, when my father they had the strike, he went junking with him, you know, and the girl that died, this was her mother, Frances.
Okay. Let's go through here a little bit.
This is some of my pictures. Then it turns into. Oh, Polynesian. Do you ever hear of Polynesian
Sure.
girls? They're beautiful girls. They had some on the island there. This is almost like one of them. This is how they lived in these things there.
Huts and
Yeah.
just pictures of.
Have you ever you see his hair? I saw a young girl, and she was in Happy Harry's with her mother, and she had her hair dyed purple. That's how these people dyed their hair.
Purple?
Different colors.
Yeah, I can see that's purple.
These are some Indians that lived on the island.
These are like postcards here.
Yeah, this is a postcard here. This is what they really, close to colored people. Look at this one, Mike.
These are all postcards.
Yeah, this is San Francisco.
Yeah. How about that? Oh, that's going to go in my collection.
There's something you didn't see, Mike. What's he doing? What's he got?
He's got some heads hanging there.
What is he?
He's a headhunter.
Right.
They had headhunters on the Fiji Islands.
No, on the other side. We never saw them.
And this
was
is
on
a-
the other side
this
of
is
the
a real
island.
head,
But
huh?
they were there. And what they do, they take those heads and they shrink them. They make little things. Okay. And this is the children, little kids with their mothers hanging on to the titties. Well, here's me. This might be in Fort Belvoir, Virginia, around the engineers. Now here's me with the first truck that we ever owned, trailer. We bought it. This. Can you see? This is a coal trailer with a. It looked like a little. It wasn't a real heavy duty tractor, but we used to haul stuff with it. And this might be at one of the yards there. This is very interesting, but the business one is interesting too. Well, this isn't the start. Oh, this is the start. You want the start of
I don't want to
Wilmington?
do that.
This
No.
is the start of Wilmington.
I really want to try to stay away.
Here, look, Mike.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. This is.
Look, I want to show you something, Mike.
You know what? This is not the one I wanted. Okay, here we go. Hold on.
You wanted this one here.
Well, I got that one, and that's
Oh,
okay.
look, you got your dog
You know,
there.
these are all very recent, and we'll get to
Yeah.
these. But right now, I'm going to go back.
Now look at this here, Mike. I want to tell you something here.
Excuse me.
Now you saw Pop. He was a big husky man. When he got older, he got thin. That's how I am.
How
just
old is
like
he
him.
here?
I would say he's in his 70s. Died at age 78.
Now look at this. Here's a man that died at age 78, so he's got to be younger than 78. Now, I don't know, Dad. You don't, to me, maybe it's what you don't look anything like that.
I
He
don't.
looks old. You look.
Thank you, Mike. I
That's
appreciate that. Look, I want to show you this here. as I told you, I was a sun worshiper. And here I am as a young man, maybe 18, 19, look at me. And I love football and
Where
all
is
those
that?
things. That's Atlantic City.
Yeah, it's probably one of
Yeah. Now here I am in Atlantic City. This is in 1936. Now this girl, if you see her, you see her arm around there? She lived next door to me on Osage Avenue. She wanted to get together with me. But I was in no mood then. I was too young and I was looking to work. Oh, take a picture of this here. You got to take that has to be on there.
2934
That's it.
Kensington
Yeah.
Avenue, Pipes Fittings. Is that the first? That's the
That's
first
our
one?
first place when we went together in the year 1940. On Kensington Avenue, we had a little place, and that's where we started. Oh, this is
Here's a real interesting
yeah.
photograph on this page here. It's a real old-looking photograph. Tell me about that photograph. I'm going to get a drink of water. I'll be back in a second. Go ahead, talk about it.
All right, that's my father there with a cigar in his mouth. A young man came from Russia, has 2 children now on the photo with his wife, who was only 98 pounds when she got married. And in a few years, she's 200 pounds or close to it. And my father looks like a strong, husky man and a hard worker, which he was. On the bottom is a marriage picture of my wife, who is beautiful.
Hold on, I want to talk about that other picture some more.
Okay.
The older one. Do you have any idea when that was?
Well, you could tell because, how old could I be? 2, 3 years old there? Or 4? And
So that
that's
picture,
Otzi.
if you were born in 1915, that picture maybe was 1920.
Right.
And that's Otzi
Is that
there.
the phone?
Yeah. All right, we'll stop for a second. I want to get something to drink.
Get that, Mike.
Okay, let's continue.
Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, I think you got the right idea. All right. Now,
And where do you think this was, in Atlantic City?
this is
old
Atlantic City. Yeah. Now,
Okay, and this is, okay, go
now
ahead.
this is my father. As you see, he came from Russia, and I might be 3, 4 years old. He came in 1913. He's a big, strong-looking man. However, when he sent a picture to Russia of his marriage picture, they wrote him back, out of all the women in the United States, you had to pick out such a skinny woman. Only 98 pounds she was. You saw it. It disappeared, though. Somebody took it away. And here she is. She could be 200 pounds. See? Now, here's Max, and here's Aaron.
And this picture
And
here,
this here
his mother.
is a picture of Judy Shirley Ploner, who I married in 1946, was it?
Yep. No, 1945.
1945. She is beautiful, both outside and inside.
What about this picture right here?
This picture is of Max at West Philadelphia High School.
Let me write it on the back here. Max.
In the late 30s,
At
maybe 36. And it is the bowling team of West
bowling
Philly
team?
High.
You were on the bowling team?
Yeah, always on the bowling team, on the track team I was
You
too.
were a bowler too, huh?
Yeah.
How about that?
And look, Mike, I just want to show you. When I was young, I was always between 150 to 160. Here you could see how I look. I was thin.
Skinny, yeah.
Yeah, and when I got older, there for a long time, I remained about 179 pounds up until I had the big prostate operation. This fella here, Raymond Harris, was very friendly with me.
Bottom row left.
Yeah, left. Just a friend. And this fella's parents owned the cemetery where Mom and Pop are buried.
Oh, no kidding.
And this here, He was a teacher.
Well, by the way, I'm sorry. What was the name and what is the name of the cemetery where Grandma and Grandpa were? Mount Zion.
I don't know the name, but
think
it's
it's
in
Mount-
Collingsdale or Collingswood.
Right. Okay. Pennsylvania, and I think it's Mount Zion.
Maybe it is.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so this is here. Wait. This one, I want to show this one here because as you know, I'm a very high stressful person and never very hard for me to relax. As you know, I'm always getting up and walking around when I sit down. But I want you to take this picture with the cow behind me. It's at Camp Samabula, Fiji, and it's a day off that I have. Do I look relaxed?
Yep.
Okay. Look, who are these other people here?
We don't need that. We're covering the same
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
Let's see over here. Let me look at this.
Oh, this is when we first came to Wilmington.
That is.
Is that the car you grabbed?
Hold on. Let me see if I can see this picture. It's a black and white picture here. This picture right here, and as I see it, it's the backyard of the house at 3701 North Monroe Street in Wilmington. And I see Shaney, the dog that we had in the front here. I see Max here. I see our 1962 Chevrolet Impala.
Right.
Mother laying down. Brad here, and me there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's Brad there.
Right.
Boy, was he skinny.
What?
There was nothing else in the back.
Wait. I want to go over that.
Over what?
While we have it. First of all, I want you to show the two brothers that are close together in Atlantic City. I want you to take a picture of that. We'll just say something about it. And this one here, I want you to see how handsome your father was when he was young. What do you think? Look, take a look.
I see it.
And another thing. Come here.
What?
This is your sister
Yes.
before she had a nose job. Now, let me ask you a question.
Barbara before nose
does that
job.
look bad, that
I don't
nose?
know. Let's see.
Does that look bad?
Barbara, okay, we'll be zooming in on that. But all right. Let's see.
Don't make any fun of it.
This is this little photo album here, this red one. And there's some me at Camp Sun Mountain here. Gosh. I have no idea.
Let's see.
Just different pictures.
Oh,
of
wait.
Camp Sun Mountain.
This picture is at 5,000 Boardwalk.
No, it isn't.
Maybe it isn't.
It's
yeah.
at Camp Sun Mountain. All these pictures are Camp Sun Mountain.
Yeah.
This was way before
Right.
5,000 Boardwalk, Dad.
Well, look. Oh, look at the cat.
Camp
You
Sun-
liked it there, too. It did you good, Mike.
Who was this dog? Did Grandpop or
That's-
somebody have a dog there? That's not my
Oh.
dog.
No. This is...
That looks like Grandpop's house, doesn't
huh? No. That's this is you at
Stanley's parents' house?
At Lenny's house. He had a house somewhere. Is it like not Chalfont or something like that? And
Carcroft?
maybe it was Carcroft. Yeah.
No, Dad, I was already 13 here. They were living in Brandywine Hills at
All
this
right.
point. I'm already 12, 13 years old
All
there.
right.
I don't know. And there's Anita.
Yeah.
And Barbara
There's
with her
Barbara.
big 60s do there. Next page is the Watermans. And who's this? Do you know who that is?
That's Rose and Mo Wyckoff.
Oh, okay.
They live on Levick Street.
Rose and Mo Wyckoff.
Wait. Let's look at Mother there. She looks nice. She's a blonde.
There's these red
Now,
there.
who's the boy? That you?
Yeah. Here's
Oh, look at
Len-
Pop.
yeah. There's
Do I look that old, Mike?
no. You don't look that old, but this is Al Ploner and Margaret Ploner.
Yeah, very nice
Al
woman.
Margaret.
Second wife, very nice woman. Can't say enough about her.
And this is Bud Sigel. How
Right.
about that?
Yeah.
Bud Sigel ran H. Schwartz and Sons on the inside there for quite a few years before
Yeah.
Stanley came.
And this woman worked for the American Pipe, and then she came to work for us.
What was her name?
And Braverman.
I remember her. She was your bookkeeper?
Yeah.
And who was this secretary?
Huh?
Remember her? Just curious. I remember this office.
Oh, there was one that didn't get along with
No,
Carol.
this was way before that. This
Yeah.
is back in American Street, isn't it, Dad?
No. This is in the trailer.
No, it isn't, Dad.
Yes, it is, Mike.
There is no way in the world that this is the
It's in
trailer.
the back of the trailer, the back room.
I'm telling you, it's not, Dad. This is American Street. I guarantee there's no way that there was.
Oh,
this
American Street, maybe.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Let's see.
This must be my second, third grade,
Yeah.
something like that.
Oh, here's a shot of Memphis in Ontario. Look at the pipe in there.
So Memphis and
One of-
Ontario.
one
So
of-
first
one of
it was
three.
American Street, then it was Memphis and no. What was the first one?
American and Susquehanna.
And then this one.
Then this is Memphis in Ontario.
And then
Then
American.
no, up near
Distance.
the Tacony Distance.
Right.
3 places we owned. Now wait 1 minute.
Well, Memphis and which was the first one?
First one was the Foundry. I have pictures of it.
Where was that?
That was at the American and Susquehanna.
And is that this one?
No, that's Memphis in Ontario.
Okay. I'm confused there.
Look at you. That's you at the. Remember we used to go to Tom's River? There we used to be like
The
some kind
Host
of place.
Farm or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Not the Host Farm. The
Yeah.
yeah, I forget. It wasn't the Host Farm. It was Longwood
Yeah.
or God, me and the Boy Scouts. Jeez. Whew. This is Brandywine Country Club.
Wait. Let's see who the fella is here. Oh, that's me.
Me at Camp Sun Mountain there in the canoe there. And this looks like maybe December 1965. I think this is maybe our trip to Puerto Rico. Either that or Florida. one
Who
of
you?
them.
Oh,
Yeah, I think.
yeah, Doral.
Yeah, this is the door.
And
This is
the-
where I
the
played with the
rail.
monkey. I remember that day. I'll tell
Yeah,
you.
and that's something. Remember the
Doral.
little bird came on that?
No. This is Florida. I don't
Oh.
think this was. The bird did in Puerto Rico. All right, that's. Let me stop it now. Let me see if there's any more pictures I want to cover right now. Did we sing a song? You sing another song. That's fine.
All right.
I found this.
Wait 1 minute.
Photo album. I'll talk about this. My mother, Judy here. How about that? This is a interesting picture of, I would say, this is Al and my mother and father, Leonard, and
Yeah.
very young
That's
picture.
right. That's right.
He really does have a,
Nice head of hair there, honey.
I'll tell you, he looks a lot like Randy in this picture. And a Randy look here. Let's see what else we can find. I'm going to look for some other photos. Why don't? Oh, well, this is interesting. This is a photo of the Cloners Automotive back
He found that underneath there. That cat's in there now.
back when we were on where 495 is on Route 13 here. Must have been a Christmas party because I see a bottle of Lord Calvert there. So a bottle of liquor means must have been a party. You coming in here and join this party?
No.
Dad, you want to sing? Sing.
Just sing into the thing.
Just sing.
It's mostly talking and a little singing, but something to remember me by. All right?
I'm listening. Go ahead. It's recording.
All right, give me a little send-off.
A little send off.
Yeah.
A one and a two and a. I don't know.
Life is a play. Come here.
I'm going to look for some more photos. Are you
I
gonna
want you here. I want you to remember these words and the music.
We're videotaping them.
Sit down for 1 minute, and when we could be finished. Life is a play. We all play a part. The lover, the dreamer, and the clown. The lover and dreamer are always in tears, but the clown spreads sunshine and joy. So the life with a smile is a life worthwhile. So clown till the curtain comes down.
What movie is this?
Even though you're only make-believing, laugh, clown, laugh. Even though something inside is grieving, laugh, clown, laugh. Don't let your heart be too mellow. Just be a real punchinello fellow. You're supposed to brighten up the place and laugh, clown. And that's it.
Let me see something. Make sure we lost your microphone.
Huh? What is it? Oh,
We lost your mic. That's all right. It should be okay.
think it got on there?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Was it interesting talk?
Why don't you? What was the song? The Autumn Leaves. Can you sing
Oh,
it? Sing
yeah.
that song. I'm gonna look for some more photos.
The autumn leaves drip by my window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, your sunburned hands I used to hold till you went away. The days grew long, and then came love, some summer song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall.
All right. Now, I see this box here. It looks like it might have a few photographs in it. Let's see if there's anything.
Where'd you find that?
Yeah, it was in one of the cabinets in there. Awesome.
Want one more music? I'll give you another song.
Go ahead while I'm looking.
One more. This is one of my favorites called My Ideal. Maybe I could sing it a little better because it was one that I really enjoyed. Will I ever find the girl in my mind, the one who is my ideal? Maybe she's a dream, and yet she might be just around the corner, waiting for me. And will I recognize a light in her eyes that no other eyes reveal? Or will I pass her by and never even know that she is my ideal? There she is.
There's an interesting photo here. Who's that?
This is Anita and Bevy, my sister's two wonderful children.
How old do you think they were there?
Oh, I would say that Bevy's about 4 and Anita's about 6 or 7.
Have they moved to California yet?
I really don't know. Where's the studio at? Does it say? Does it say where it's at, Mike?
Thomas Fine, Colored Studio.
Oh, there's Anita and her family. That's nice. That's all the music, Mike.
Okay.
I hope I didn't make a pain of myself.
I wanted you to sing, man. Highest. Who's this?
This is a very nice picture in which I happen to look pretty good, which is not bad. On the left is my daughter Barbara, looking very well. I'm next to her with a nice suntan, a nice tie with a jacket. Not bad. Nice smile. One of my good days.
Who's the other?
And on the end, not next to me, is the wife of another Miller that I forgot to tell you, Bernie Miller. He was at your wedding, and that's his wife standing next to me.
What's her name?
I forget her name, but his name is Bernie. Don't I think I look pretty good there, don't I, Mike?
Yeah, it's this picture right here, Bernie Miller. Write that down on the back there. Okay, let's see. That was like maybe,
You want to get in here too? He thinks he's part of the family, Mike.
well,
Come here, come here, come here. Come on, I'll put you up in here. Come here, come here, come here.
he's not going to pose, huh?
Hmm?
Morris the cat. Morris, you could be famous for life if you got up on the video here.
I'll tell you, Barbara left that animal with us. And it's something that has to be taken care of. It's an animal, it has feelings, and it gives you something to do. I enjoy him. We've got to love him. He's
Bitten
very
you?
good for Judy.
He scratched you?
What? No,
You have
no,
to keep the door open
no.
and gets the whole house cold.
You loved your dog?
Yeah.
We get used to the animal. Even though I'm not a cat lover, but I love him,
Ralph,
and I
remember?
go get his food. I get his food, gives me something to do. The only thing I don't like a lot is cleaning his litter box.
Well, doesn't Barbara, it's her cat, doesn't Barbara come over and clean the litter
No,
box?
no, Barbara, it's my cat now.
Your cat now, huh? Alright, let's see. I don't see too many more pictures in here of the old style that we really want to look at here.
Yeah, some of the pictures that are on the wall there is what, you know, I have on that, above the fireplace is ones that you...
How about this photo? You know who that is?
This, I believe, is Joel.
That's Joel.
They used to live on 31st Street, and that's Joel Schwartz.
Yeah, you know what?
They used to live with
One last
Sylvia's
one.
grandparents.
This picture right here.
This picture is very interesting. It's Stanley, and Ross is a bar mitzvah. They took him to Israel for his bar mitzvah.
That's your grandson, huh?
He really loved the boy. By the way, they went there, his mother, he lost 30 pounds, by the way. They went, he wasn't...
Okay, all right, I'll talk about that in a second. I guess that's it.
Huh? What do we do with these things here? What do
We'll
we
put
put?
them away.
Huh?
Happy 80th birthday, Dad. See you
What?
Next year. Happy 80th birthday.
All right. I'll say this to you, Michael.
And here we have a little epilogue. We have discovered this picture here. It's called the Bar Mitzvah of Harry Small, and the date is January 10th, 1920. And who was Harry Small, Dad?
Harry Small
Who's this?
was my Aunt Lily and Uncle Benny Small son.
Uncle
They
Benny.
had one son.
How was he, Aunt Lily, how were they related?
Aunt Lily was a sister to my mother.
Sister to your mother.
Right.
Okay, that's Rose Schwartz's sister. Where's Rose Schwartz?
Right
Where's
here.
grandma? Okay, move it out of the way so you can see it there. Okay.
And that's her sister, another sister next to her here. That's Gittimer.
That's
Mrs.
Gittimer.
Gittimer.
Okay, why don't you?
Gussie Gittimer.
Okay. This is Harry Small.
And
Okay.
this is my father here,
Okay. Hey, look-
Hyman Schwartz.
Okay. Why don't you just tell me as many of these people as you can tell me who
Okay.
they are?
Now this is Harry Small.
Mm-hmm.
This is his father, Benny Small, and this is his wife, Lil. Now, want to go along with the names?
Yeah, as many names as you got.
Okay. This is Uncle Jake, who owned American Pipe along with my father years ago. And this is his brother, Harry Small.
Dad, hold the pencil just from the very end. Look at me. That's it. There you go.
This is Harry. No, that's wrong. This is Uncle Jake, I said.
Uncle Jake.
Goldberg.
Jake Goldberg, and that's Grandma.
And this is Grandma Goldberg.
Okay, now that is
And this is Harry Goldberg.
Harry Goldberg.
The oldest brother.
That's Grandma Schwartz's oldest brother
Right,
and his wife.
right. They had about 11 children in the family, but some of them died.
Is Grandma Schwartz's mother here? Bubby.
Here, that's her. That's the Bubby.
That is Grandma Schwartz's
Mother.
mother.
Right.
And who's this?
This is her son, Harry Goldberg.
Okay.
And this is her son, Jake Goldberg.
Okay. What family? Hold the pencil on the very end so your hand isn't in there, okay? Just hold it right on the very end. Now, where that family, where were they from? Pittsburgh, the Goldbergs?
No, they were from Philly.
From Philly, okay.
Right.
Okay, any other names of people in here that you can remember, that you know?
This here is a picture of Jaime Miller that I told you about.
Mm-hmm.
And this is his wife, Annie. She don't look too fat there, you know, she was heavy.
See if I can manually focus this here.
Hard to see, make them out because they're so small and the picture's so old. I don't know anybody in the front.
Okay. You know any of these other people?
No, I don't know these people.
Okay.
Of course, this here, they were multimillionaires at this stage.
Tell
of the
me,
game.
this he owned a couple pipe mills?
This man here built the Wheatland Tube.
Pipe
And
mill.
Maury was around there at that time. Of course, he was older, but Maury knew him. He used to see him around there.
And what happened to Harry Small?
Harry Small was I would say he was a spoiled youngster. His father was very wealthy. They had a
Fancy
in
car?
Ardmore. They had what was something big home. What would you mansion?
Mm-hmm.
And he was very friendly with me, and got a new car one day, some kind of, I forget the name of it. But
Auburn or something?
Auburn, yeah, I told it to you,
Yeah.
and he took me for a ride in it.
Is he the one that got sick that time when you were at a party together or something, or that was a different story?
No, I don't remember that. He was older than me, but he liked me, and he took me.
You're
out.
not at this bar mitzvah.
No, I wouldn't. I wasn't born then. Yes, I was. I was 5 years old.
Oh, okay, you were 5 years old.
Now, if you want a little story on him,
Sure.
uh, I don't know what country he came from the other side.
Stand back a little bit. Okay.
He came, Benny Small came from the other side. What country, I don't know right
Stand
at
back a
this
little bit.
moment.
Mm-hmm. I'm
He
listening.
had nothing, and I don't think he had any a big education, but he was a very shrewd man, a tough businessman, and started out with nothing, and he somehow, through a friend of his that worked at John Maneely, who was like a big plumbing supply, like a Joker, you know, real big plumbing supply. His friend worked there, and his friend got him a job there. And once he got in there, he started to do good, and he saw that his friend was knocked out of there. And what he did, he started cutting prices on a new. This John Maneely was selling new pipe to all the little plumbing supplies, and he went and cut the price another 5, another 10, and he started getting business, and they were getting big. And the other companies came to Maneely and said, "Look, your salesman is cutting prices. If you don't stop him, then we're going to," these were the mills that came to them, "we're not going to sell you any more pipe. All the mills are going to blackball you." So John Maneely said to Ben, he says, "What do we do now? Now I can't get any pipe." He says, "You screwed the thing up." He says, "Well, you can tell them all to go to hell. I will build you a mill." He says, "You will?" He says, "Yes, I will. You back me and I'll build a mill." And he went to Wheatland Tube, which was in Ohio, and he went to all the mills and took their best men away.
Yeah.
And they built a mill, Wheatland Tube, which is still operating today. Now, it's a nice story. You still have more time?
Well, I would. Yeah.
All right. He became a multi-millionaire, my uncle, from nothing, from that little job that Casper J got him. He became a multi-millionaire. He owned half the mill. His son, Harry Small, grew up, and he took care of the payroll and the men's time and things like that. And one day Maneely came to him and he says, "Ben, we have a problem." "What is it?" "Your son Harry is stealing like mad on the payroll and the men's time and different things." He says, "We'll have to get rid of him." He says, "You can't get rid of him." He says, "If he leaves, I leave." He says, "Well, then we have to break up." He says, "Okay, you pay me out and I'll leave." And then what he did, he went, like, I wouldn't say it's across the street, but very close to where Wheatland Tube was, and he opened up another mill called the Mercer Tube. He put every penny he had in it to build a mill. It cost a lot of money. And he did the same thing he did when he built Wheatland Tube. He went to different mills and took away their best men, and he built the mill. And you know, when you build a mill, when you start making pipe, it takes a lot of pipe before the first piece comes out good. With him, when he built it, the first piece of pipe came off the line was good. He had all these best men. Now he has a mill, it's operating, and he's ready to make money. What do the other mills do? They all go I don't know if the right word is collusion, they all went together and they dropped their prices, were so low that he couldn't sell the pipe, his pipe. He went broke. He lost. My Aunt Lil had 30. They called her Diamond Lil. She had $30,000 worth of diamonds on her chest. He lost that. He lost every penny he had, and he wound up dead broke. And he came back to Philly, and he went in business with Harry Gittimer, who used to be in the plumbing supply, but he was out of it. And he got some machines, and they started to make pipe couplings. And he was with Harry Gittimer for a while, and he broke him. He was going to get a gun and shoot him. Harry Gittimer lost all of his money from things that he did, and no couplings. Then he wound up on Machinery Row selling machinery. And he worked like for different people, and he used to say, I want machinery that has a character in it. He's like a big shot, and he had these words. But he didn't do too good there, and finally they went broke, and the family, they went so broke that the family all had to get together, and they bought her a little grocery store, which she had to go to work, and she was so wealthy. And he lost a leg from, I guess, diabetes. He was in a wheelchair, and Aunt Lily was working, and that's his story.
Okay, I think we have some more pictures we want to get to while we still have a little tape. Okay, you'll have to excuse my hand holding this, but tell me about this picture, Dad.
Well, my father came to America.
Your father's on the left side here, right?
My father, Hyman Schwartz, on the left side, came from Russia at the age of 21, and he had an uncle living in Philadelphia by the name of Sokolov. He had 3 or 4 sons, and my father lived with him until he was able to get a job and went out on his own.
And who's
they
this?
were very nice to him.
Who's on the other side here?
That's Mr. Sokolov. He had 3 or 4 sons. And Benny Small and Simon Kaplan, another relative, said to him, your children are growing up, you're in the stable business, now you have to find them a place where they can go in business and become something.
Okay, we have this picture here, which we saw the other part of this picture the other day. This is Grandpa Ploner, and this is when you went to, what, Acapulco?
Right.
And this is a picture of you and Mother and Grandpa Ploner in Acapulco.
Right, and that's a picture that I like to admire about myself, because I was a little bit on the heavier side, where I was always thin, and I looked like I was in my prime there.
This is going to be the final picture here. Tell me about this picture.
This picture took place in Atlantic City. We bought a little condominium down there on the boardwalk to help Judy with a stroke, and this is sort of near the beginning of her stroke when she got out of the wheelchair, and she progressed very, very nicely there. As you could see, she looks pretty good, and I think it's very good of her and I'm proud of that picture.
Okay. I'm fading out.
Pretty rare you gotta restore it, but it's always helps. Peace of mind is good.
Hopefully I'll never have to use the restore command.
Yeah.
But I know it's there if I
Do
need
you
it.
have
It saves big time.
do you
I've
have
had-
this for business work somewhere else so that we can load it up on another computer and restore? So that
What are you
we
talking
don't-
about? What'd you say? I have the original software for BusinessWorks, and I'm going to take it home and leave it home.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can load that up, take this thing.
This
and
place
put
burns
this on,
tomorrow.
And then you're up and running
Right.
at home.
This place burns tomorrow. Right, exactly. I go out and buy a new computer or take my home computer, load Business Works on my home computer, take the backup. Of course, I have to buy a computer with the tape backup. I have to go out and buy a computer with the tape backup. Load Business Works on there, load the tape. I'm where I was yesterday when I left work, right?
Yeah,
That's it.
Your fire insurance bought your computer.
Yep.
I'd actually get, a lot of people have, they have one at work, they also have one at home, tape backup, they're pretty inexpensive.
Not really, because then you'd have to buy another computer and you'd still be in the hole. So the fire insurance would not buy the computer.
What?
This one hasn't been paid for yet. So if it burned down, even if it was paid for, if you get the money, then you buy another one. So the fire company, the insurance would pay for replacing the one, but it would not think of it as you'll
Right.
burn the place down to get the insurance money, please.
Oh, no, we know. Right.
They're not going to pay me for the computer that I bought a year ago
Plus the
that I had at
replacement.
home, just in case. But I did buy a replacement value policy on it.
Okay. Now,
All right.
Now you just wait. Why don't you go ahead and put your invoices in? A couple of them that you want to run.
Okay.
Unless you don't want to do that.
No,
today
that's
or
fine. I'd like to get one in. Let me give this a try. Right.
I'm still not in there, right?
Yeah, you're not in there. I'll add you. Yes. Why didn't tell it? I didn't give it my.
You didn't change. Put in that password you gave that, we'll see what happens.
Not letting me do anything else.
You don't have a company in there, Mike.
Yes, I do. Well, I know it. I don't have a company in there, but it's not. It's not letting me do anything here.
Because you're not in any company. You gotta be in a company
Yep.
to,
But Bruce, when I first started it up,
okay. hang on.
Try just hitting enter, just hit
Say
enter.
okay. Hit okay.
that's what I did. You know,
That one, cool.
this is not good.
You're in system manager now and not in the whole, thing?
Type that password in again. Okay.
3 attempts.
It just kicks you out. Go back into it and try it in uppercase. Sometimes those passwords are they're case sensitive.
Yeah, but I've done this before. When it first comes up, it will ask you. First thing it asks you is for your user ID. Then it asks you for your password.
Right. I don't think there's any other one set up besides manager.
Good.
Uppercase.
Okay.
Try type in password as the password. See if it actually changed to yours. Never seen this happen?
Too late to call
Can you get
California.
the user ID?
No, it's
Nothing.
only things that you can do anything with. If it's grayed out like this, Bruce, it won't let you get in there.
Yeah, so that's the only one in there.
Well, why does it let you get into password?
It's asking for the password of manager.
Just want to call them.
Yeah, you can give them a call.
Is that the only business works on the whole that we have here?
It's just not good.
What helps? What helps?
What? What? correct password, you idiot. So it's not correct.
Click OK, see what happens if there's no password in there.
Yeah, I've done that already 3 or 4 times.
Let them work. Yeah, my name's Joe with Delaware Business Systems. We're setting up a new system here, a client of ours, and we just exited for the first time after setting everything up. Now we get back into it, and it has a user ID, and it has manager. Now it's blinking in their password, and it's not letting us in. Run Windows. The business works soda. Yeah, it doesn't let you type in the ID, it automatically defaults to manager in gray, and the password's highlighted. Yeah. Yeah, we typed in the password that we thought we set up, and it's not letting it go through.
We're on the right disk, right?
Yeah, it says, what's the exact error it gives you? It says, password not on file.
Password not found.
It's the latest one, I think it's 9.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Hold on one second here. Was that fax line?
Your camera's getting a good shot of the back of my head.
Battery power already. Oh, I'm not the tape, I bet.
No, it's still running.
Yeah, but it's. Oh, yeah.
Nice mic shot there.
Okay. All right, thanks a lot. All right, bye. Well, for their own security reasons, we need to fax them on company letterhead, just that we need a password. This is just so I guess anybody can call up or whatnot.
Can you call your, oh, they're gone. Can you call your office and have them do that?
You know the fax machine?
No, I don't have a fax machine.
Fax.
Is there anybody at your office? Maybe.
Well, we need your company letterhead.
I don't have a company letterhead. I can create one with Windows, but that's, I mean, you know, that's about it.
Does this have a fax modem in it?
Yeah, but it's not hooked up. I guess we could plug it into our telephone.
Yeah, just give me a phone line. We'll create some letterhead right now. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. You got a cord?
It's recorded. Oh, well, there's a little cord over there, Bruce.
Okay.